All right, photography on a budget. Maybe maybe I should create a new YouTube channel devoted to my budget crap photography. But all right, look, I made another video talking about all my camera gear, my Canon camera gear, just because I wanted to get it all together and show it. But today, I'd like to talk about how cheaply you can get stuff. I mean, this video is not going to be for anybody that is already an avid photographer and is really good at what they're doing, because I am not. So for me, I'd like to talk about how cheap this hobby can be to people that are trying it out, and don't have a butt ton of cash to spend. So let's start with the body. It's a Canon Rebel XT or 350D. It's an 8 megapixel CMOS, and I've been using it now. I don't know how long I've had it. A couple months, and I love the camera. It does everything that I need it to do, and it really works flawlessly for me. I haven't had any problems whatsoever with it. Like I've said before, the LCD screen is almost worthless, but I'll get back to that in a second. But with this LCD screen up here, where my thumb is now, I see all my readouts and I can control everything now that I've actually just been practicing going through the controls, being able to change stuff on the fly, and it works just fine now that I'm totally used to it, and I'm pretty quick with it, even with going through the autofocus points. I've been going through everything on it and really trying to get used to using it, so I won't have to be fumbling around when I want to catch something. So for me, displaying photos on Flickr, I have yet to print anything or to have anything printed, so I can't attest to the image quality there, but I'm not going to print anything larger than an 8x10 or something like that, so I'm sure that the camera will do just fine. The photos will be just fine. But for viewing on Flickr, on my iPad and my iPhone, I mean, the pictures look gorgeous with just a little bit of tweaking, the most minimal amount of tweaking. I think the camera's great. $100. I bought this for $100 used off of Amazon, and I can't say how pleased I am. It was just the body, $100. It came with a battery and a charger. Actually, it came with 2 batteries and a charger. Okay, so for me, this is the lens that I have been using the most because it's the best lens that I had, and I like to go to the zoo, and I love to take a ton of pictures. I bought this new. I paid over $600 for it. Right now, I believe they're going for about $650 new. Used on Amazon, you can get them for about 310 bucks or more. I don't think, even if I had to do it over again, I don't think I would buy this lens used, just because of the higher price point to begin with. But I love this lens. I mean, for me, it's great. It does exactly what I need to do. I haven't even run into a scenario where I need more zoom, but unless I was doing birds or something like that, I don't see the need, and it works great. Now, I did a lot of research, because I have, and let me grab it. I have an old FD, the old FD 50mm 1.8, and I was thinking about getting an adapter and using it on this body, but everybody's like, no. I mean, yes, you can, but you're not going to have the same field of view, blah, 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 which I don't anyway, because I don't have a full frame sensor or whatever. I mean, it's I guess it's the APS-C or whatever, so even this isn't really a 50 millimeter, but these lenses are like $110 new. So virtually anybody that knows photography is like, you should just get this lens anyway. It's $110. Why not? The optics are great. And yeah, and I'll get back to what I used the screen for here, the actual LCD to review pictures, was when I went to go get this. The guy was asking $70 on Craigslist, and I said, all right, let me go check it out. And I put it in aperture priority, put it all the way at its widest, took a picture focusing on the taillight of my truck up close, and then I put it to its smallest, and I could tell the difference on that little crappy screen. So yeah, so that's how I knew the lens worked. And for $70, I could not pass it up. Haven't had a gigantic chance to use it, but I could not stop using it as soon as it was on the camera after I paid for it. And the same thing with this. This is the 18 to 55, and it's a kit lens, and you can get these on Amazon used for just over $100. It's like a $200 and something lens. But again, somebody on Craigslist was selling it, and on the drive home, the bridge was up on my way home, so traffic came to a halt on the highway, and I immediately picked up my camera and started using it. And I think it's a great lens. So all in all, for everything, for what you see here and 2 batteries and a charger, I paid $950. $650 of it was this. So if you were to knock off $300, if I had bought it used, it would have been $650 total. So, and for a noob like me, I can't see needing much else as a beginner to begin with right now. So unless you're going for something specific like macro or whatever, I think this is a good assemblage. Is that a word? A good assemblage of lenses. And I think they'll do me just fine. And really what brought me to buying these so quickly, because normally I would take more time and space out these purchases, was the fact that I'm going away for July 4th weekend to Lake Gaston, and I wanted to have what I thought would be a good array of lenses to capture everything I wanted to capture. So when I'm on the boat, it'll be this, more than likely. If I want to get some shots of the lake and of the scenery, you know, it'll be this. And depending on what's going on with the kids, you know, if we're pulling them behind on the raft, or if there is any wildlife or anything else I want to take a picture of, it's this. And I can't speak enough on how good this lens is. So photography on a budget. Maybe I'll keep going with these videos, even though I know nobody's watching them. All right, peace.